Before we get into today's video, I do want to let you guys know that this video is for educational purposes only. Please remember to be kind to everybody everywhere in your everyday life, in your home, in the grocery store, and especially in the comment section down below. Please do not show hate to anybody, anywhere. So good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody doing today? I hope you all are having an amazing day. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. I hope y'all are starting y'all's week off on a wonderful note. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about a situation that happened back in 2022 in Wisconsin. And this trial is actually going on right now. And I'm going to be doing this video telling y'all about what happened. We're going to go over some of the testimony that's already been given. And I honestly cannot believe that more people are not talking about this trial and what's going on, because when my friend told me about it and she asked me my opinion, she wanted me to look into it, I have not been able to stop watching the trial. To me, it has been very interesting and intriguing, and honestly, it could go either way at this point. So I'm hoping to do this video for y'all and then do at least one more follow-up. And I'm going to tell y'all also some of the testimonies I think you guys should watch yourself. So this has to do with the situation that happened on a river named Apple River, okay? And it has to do with a man who was 51 years old at the time, and his name is Nicolae. And I've heard some people pronounce his name Mew and Miu, so I'm gonna do my best here. But before we get into it, I do want to let you guys know, if you don't already know, hi, my name is Christina. I do have a second channel, which is Casually Christina. We just do things way more casually over there. I also have a Patreon. My Patreon is for 18 and up. And over there, we talk about more personal stuff. We go live over there. All of the true crime stuff that cannot go onto YouTube due to their terms and policies, that goes over on my Patreon under the $2 tier. Make sure you guys read the About section and what each tier offers, though, before you join, so you know what you are signing up for. I also have an Instagram, a Facebook, a Snapchat, and I'm also on Like to Know It. And my Like to Know It is where I link the things that you guys ask about that I use: hair, makeup, furniture, clothing, stuff like that, that are my favorites. I link them over on my Like to Know It, and you guys can find them there. All of those links to those platforms are down in the description box if you would like to come and check me out. So, okay, let's just start at the beginning for now. So, Nicolae Miu is 51 years old at this time in 2022 when all of this stuff went down, okay? Nicolae grew up in Romania, and he immigrated to the United States when he was a teenager, from what we have been told so far. And he has currently been living in Wisconsin. It has been said that Nicolae is an engineer and that he speaks several different languages, and he's known to be very intelligent and a very peaceful man, according to his attorneys. As a matter of fact, I listened to his now ex-wife testify during this trial, which, mind you, she did not want to be there and did not want to be testifying, but she was called to testify. And it is said that from her standpoint, and again, this is his ex-wife, he was extremely helpful. If any of his friends needed help with anything, or he was like a handyman on the side, he would go over there and fix stuff for his friends, and didn't bother anybody, had never been in trouble before at this point in his life. And, you know, again, just described as a very peaceful, helpful, very intelligent, I believe they said he speaks 5 different languages type of guy. Now, the only other piece of his background information that we know is that Nicolae had a quadruple bypass heart surgery back in 2020. His wife said that he was in the hospital for about 3 weeks, recovering from this quadruple bypass heart surgery that he had, and he's had to kind of take it easy since then, as you guys can imagine. Now, that brings us to July of 2022. Nicolae went to Apple River with a group of his friends, and a lot of people go to this river so they can go tubing. If you don't know what tubing is when you ride like a big inflated inner tube and you float down a body of water, and usually it is a river. A lot of the times when people go tubing, I know we go tubing in the part of Florida that I live in, you start on one end of the river. A lot of the times you'll have your group of friends, you'll all tie your inner tubes together, you'll put a cooler on an inner tube, and and you spend the whole entire day floating from one point of the river to the whatever ending point it is of a river. And you can stop at these little sandbars, and you stop and you eat and you talk to people, and then you get on your inner tubes and you continue to float. Well, Nicolae brought his goggles and his snorkels with him, and it was said that the reason why he brought his goggles and snorkels was because the river is very shallow, and people are known to drop things in the river, lose things, lose jewelry. And so while he was out there with his friends, he was going to snorkel and see if he could, maybe find anything in the river. Now, also on the river were two other groups completely separate from each other. Now, the first group was a group of about 6 17-year-old teenage boys that were getting ready to go into their senior year. And this is what's being referred to as the Schumann group. So you got the 6 about to be seniors, 17-year-olds in one group. And then you have the second group of people. Now, the second group of people is a family of adults and young adults that are being referred to as the Carlson group. The group that Nicolae was with, the Schumann group, and the Carlson group, they were all 3 strangers to each other, but they were all 3 tubing down the river on this exact same day around the same time. Nicolae was on the shore with a group of his own people in his group. Now, everyone was just having fun on this summer day on the river until the day took a completely unpredictable and unforeseeable turn. Now, sometime during this day, one of Nicolae's friends in his group accidentally dropped his cell phone into the water. Now, allegedly, this person said it wasn't a big deal. I don't want anybody to have to search for my phone. The river, it's a moving river. The phone could be anywhere. I think it was in one of those like cases or whatever, and it could have been anywhere. However, Nicolae, being the guy that he's described to be, decided that he was going to try to find the phone. Allegedly, he was told, no, you don't need to look for it, but he had his snorkeling gear. His friend lost his phone, so he began to look for his friend's phone in the river, which I can tell you guys right off of the bat, if one of my friends was with me and they lost something in the river, especially their phone, and they say, oh, it's no big deal, just don't worry about it, I would be helping look for it for at least a little bit, whether they said to not look for it or not. And that's exactly what Nicolae did. He got his snorkeling gear, he went off into the river and began to look for his friend's phone. Now, this case, again, it's currently going on trial, so there are a ton of different sides of the story that is coming from each different person and different group at this point. And I'm going to do my best to try to tell you guys both sides from the best of my ability with the public information that is already out there. I'm not a professional. I don't know these people. So go do your own research and form your own opinions, okay? So Nicolae says that when he was wading around in this shallow water, he was looking for his friend's phone with his snorkel when he heard a group of young adults shouting at him and accusing him of looking for little girls. This is kind of like, whoa, what are you talking about? So allegedly, the group, and we now know it is this Schumann group, which is the group of the teenagers. They're floating down the river. They see Nicolae out in the middle of the river with his snorkel gear all by himself. Mind you, the Schumann group were drinking, and they were drinking a lot. So they're seeing this old guy, what they described as an old guy. They said he was looking weird. He had like a crazy look in his eye, and he had his snorkel, and he's in 2 feet of water, and he's looking in there. They start speaking out to him, okay? They start saying things to him and saying, oh, you're weird, you're looking for this and whatever, okay? Now, during this trial, the teenagers would say that the reason why they were saying he was weird and saying all these things to him is because when they asked him what he was doing, they say that Nicolae said, I'm looking for little girls, okay? If you guys are confused right now, stick with me here. I was confused at first too, because I'm like, wait a minute. So you got a group of teens floating down the river. You got a 50-something-year-old man with his goggles looking in the water. And allegedly, the 50-something-year-old man tells these teens that he's looking for that. Doesn't really make sense, but okay, that's what they say. At some point during these teenagers saying certain things to Nicolae, one of the teenagers broke out his phone and began to record. Now, during this recording, all you see is Nicolae kind of rushing up to the inner tubes, and it kind of looks like he pushes the inner tubes. Let me show you this clip right here.
What is he on? Whoa! 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 Get away!
And then you see Nicolae kind of walk away, and it looks like he's looking for something at this point. Looks like he's looking for a snorkel, or he's looking for something. And then you hear the Schumann group kind of antagonizing him and heckling him and just constantly just saying certain things to him. Listen to this.
Oh God! We up! We up! What are you talking about? What the hell are you talking about? What? Get away from us! What? What are you doing? What's going on with y'all homie? He's on camera. Guys, let's tripping. He's on 4K. Yo, the new iPhone got that good quality. What do you say?
Some of the guys that were part of this Schumann group did get on the stand and testify to the fact that they were basically antagonizing this man that was out there in the middle of the river, and they were saying he was looking weird, but Nicolae was not speaking back to them. He didn't say anything back to them.
Now, during all of this, I did not think that Nicolae had said anything at all to any of the people out there that were yelling at him, because that's what pretty much all of the witnesses have testified to on the stand, that he was not speaking and he was not using words.
I guess. Might misunderstand that, right?
He could misunderstand that.
Sure.
I mean, could have been solved if he tried to use words at all, too.
But when you really watch the clip, you can see that he actually does say something at least twice, and he even tries to wave his group down twice.
While they were heckling this man, people from the shore were listening. Now you got to imagine, you got people that are up on the shore that are adults, and they see a group of young adults, like seniors, about to be seniors, yelling things like, this guy is a pedo, or this guy is here to blank children. And so naturally the adults on the beach or on the side of the river start coming towards the teens in order to help. This is when things really started to escalate, because what it seems like is when the young adults saw this other group of people coming to help them, they got louder and they were pointing at Nicolae and laughing, and it started to get a bit out of hand.
Yeah, what the hell? Who is this? Yes. For the culture. Who is that? For the culture. Who is that? Who the hell is this? Go. It doesn't matter. Go. He said he was looking for little girl. He said he was looking for little girl. You're looking for little girl? Yeah. That's exactly what he said. We're in this house. I didn't have that part on camera, did I? What the hell is this guy's problem, bro? We're trying to have fun. Is he gonna claim you? He's gonna claim you. We don't want this one.
Now, this whole time, one of the young men from the Schumann group is still filming. However, the camera's moving around, so there's some pieces that are missing. It looks like Nicolae is shoved from behind at 1 second. There's a woman, and her name is Madison, that is yelling in his face, like this far from his face, telling him to go, go, go. Around this time, Nicolae had I believe they say 13 people surrounding him, and he's a 50-something-year-old man in the middle of the river by himself. This is the piece of the puzzle that has been missing, and that we really don't know what's the truth so far, okay? Allegedly, according to the young woman Madison that was in his face, she said that he struck her in the face. And when he did, this is when all the other guys began to jump on Nicolae, pushing him down in the water multiple times, striking him. and he's down in the water. At some point while Nicolae, I guess, was down, he reached into his pocket and he grabbed the blade that he brought with him in order to cut the ropes with the inner tubes. And when he stood back up, each person that went to go and grab Nicolae, he had that blade in his hand and they got struck. So 5 different people ended up making bodily contact with the blade that was in his hand. Now, I'm not going to go into the details of the extensive situation that happened. I am going to be going over the video in more detail on my Patreon. You guys do not need to be a part of my Patreon in order to see the video. You can find the video on the internet, but if you want to see me go over it and explain each thing, then you can join my Patreon under the $2 tier, but otherwise you guys can watch the video on your own and find it on the internet. To briefly tell you guys, I'm telling you right now, that blade, that thing that he had in order to cut the ropes was extremely sharp, because in the video, the people are barely even coming up on him, and each person is pretty significantly injured, including one of the people from the first group, and that is 17-year-old Isaac Schumann. He ended up losing his life. 2 of the people ended up being disemboweled, and then 2 of the other people ended up being injured. And again, most of this incident was caught on video from the guy that was filming. However, the video pans over when allegedly the group says that Nicolae made the first move by striking the girl Madison. So this has become a trial of, was this self-defense, or was Nicolae in a situation where he was just looking for somebody to make a mistake so he could unleash whatever he had inside of him. The issue with this is there is no camera footage of Nicolae striking anybody first, and the people who claimed to have seen Nicolae strike Madison have all foggy memories. As a matter of fact, nobody can for definitely say, I seen Nicolae strike Madison with the right hand on this side of the cheek with either, they're all changing it. Some of them say it was a slap, and then they say it was a punch, and then they say, oh, I don't know if it was a left or right hand. It's like nobody can remember exactly what happened, and it is starting to look like Nicolae might have not done what the groups say he did. Listen to the different testimonies here.
Do you agree the memory that you told the police that you had of Mr. Mew pulling Madison from behind by the hair and punching her with the left hand, that's wrong?
I mean, I guess I can't say yes or no because it doesn't really show that in the video, and I mean, my memory about that hasn't changed, so.
Okay, that's still how you remember it?
That's how I remember it, yes.
Okay.
Do you know how she was struck?
Just remember him striking her. I don't exactly know how.
Which hand?
I don't remember. I believe it was the right.
Okay. And do you know where on her body she was struck?
Her face.
Okay. There's been various demonstrations as to how that happened, meaning what type of punch it was. How would you describe it?
I don't remember. I just remember him striking her.
Do you see how he punches her?
I kind of just see like a hand come over towards her face or at her face, and then I just see like the follow through. I guess I didn't really see anything after that.
Okay, can you tell me a little bit about that? And what I mean is, I don't want to mischaracterize what you're saying, okay? Do you know which hand he uses?
No, I can't really think about which hand he used.
Okay. And when I think of a punch, maybe you and I think of it the same way. I think of a fist and somebody kind of putting their weight into it and punching somebody in the face. Is that how you think of it?
I think there's I guess a bunch of ways to punch people.
Okay.
Personally, yeah.
How do you see it?
Like a punch?
How do you see this punch?
Just like kind of like a hook.
Okay, so you see him, and you used your right arm, right?
Yeah.
In that situation. So do you believe that he uses his right arm and throws kind of a hook across?
I'm not sure which arm, but it kind of felt like I saw a hook. Yes, a hook.
A hook. Okay.
You were proud of laying this man out in response to what you observed regarding the swift motion, correct?
No, I was proud of defending a woman.
Okay. And so I want to get into that, right? And so what you understand is you're defending a woman, correct?
Yes.
Which woman?
Madison.
Okay. And the woman that you say you're defending, she fell to the ground?
I believed at the time she did, yeah.
Okay. And you believed that because that was your memory?
Yes.
And you say that now, I believed it at the time because you know that the video shows she didn't fall down, correct?
Correct.
So what we know is your memory is wrong, at least in regards to that, correct?
Yes.
So there's times that your memory is wrong about what happened that day, correct?
I guess, yes.
Now I'm going to play the parts of the video that I can play that does not show anything too graphic, just so you guys can hear what's going on, kind of see what's going on, and we'll go from there.
He's dying, bro. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Are we serious? Is this real? Oh my God. Who is that? Oh my God. Oh my God. Is this real? Is this real? Oh my God. Oh my God. Is this real? Wait, that's not bike! That's not bike! That's not bike! That's not bike! That's not Isaac! Oh my God! Oh my God! This isn't real! This isn't.
It is said that because the people that did not come up on him did not get injured, people around him had no idea what was happening until one of the young men fell into the water and the water started to turn red. This is when people began to scream and look around and realize that something terrible had just happened. People began to scream and scatter, and some of them were holding their organs inside and trying to get to the beach, and people were calling 911 and trying to get paramedics there to help the ones that were there. This is when Isaac was drug up to the beach, and unfortunately, he did not make it. The other 4 did survive, but Isaac did not make it. Now, it was said that Nicolae walked back to his group and told them they believed that somebody took the weapon from him. This is also when members of Nicolae's group ended up calling 911. When the officers arrived and they were questioning everyone, a lot of people from the river were looking for Nicolae. I mean, they were looking for him with a baseball bat. They were coming after him. And all of these rumors were swirling that there was a crazed man on the loose that was just going around and attacking people with this thing, okay? At this point, Nicolae was already on his way back to his vehicle, I guess to leave. This is when the police ended up catching up with him and taking him into custody. They charged him with homicide and 4 different accounts of attempted. Now, this is when things get a little strange, because when you look at the video, it could go either way of people thinking that it was self-defense. There are some people that believe that he should have just walked away. But then you think about it, you got an older man that's just had quadruple bypass surgery. He's surrounded by 13 different people. He may have been in shock. Who knows the trauma that he had as a kid, that maybe he froze up and couldn't speak, and all he knew to do was just try to defend himself, because now he's got people pushing him and smacking him, and he's in the water and up and da-da-da-da. And then there are people that are saying the other groups should have just walked away, which shoulda, coulda, woulda. Everybody shoulda, coulda, woulda did something different in this situation, but they didn't. But things get a little bit fuzzy or weird, because when the police got Nicolae and put him in the back of the cop car, he said to the sheriff, "What's going on? I hear somebody got and I fit the description. Y'all watch this.
Still doing all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's going
Temperature's okay in here?
on? Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody, I hear somebody got stabbed, and I fit the description.
Yes, you do.
All right.
Yep. So we're working through that now.
This is what the state, I think, is trying to make it seem like Nicolae did this and then tried to deny it. Okay, now we're only like a week or so into the trial, so there's still more to come, but it was kind of a weird statement. Now, Nicolae's supposed to testify in his own defense, and so therefore we're probably going to find out why he said that, but right now it seems a little weird. When Nicolae was interviewed by detectives, allegedly, and we haven't seen the interview yet, but it's supposed to come out, allegedly, he was surprised to find out that there was a video of the incident, and he also allegedly told the investigators that he didn't have this weapon, but members of the Schumann group did. Also, allegedly, Nicolae told the investigators that he did not know where the knife was anymore and that somebody had taken it from him, but then there's other people from the group that said that they saw Nicolae throw something onto the shore before walking back to their group after the incident happened. An investigator did in fact later find the knife on the riverbank and tested it, and it did test positive with DNA on it from some of the victims. So in September of 2022, Nicolae pled not guilty to first-degree intentional homicide for the passing of Isaac and attempted first-degree intentional homicide charges for the incident that happened with all the other 4 people. Now, Nicolae, again, he is claiming self-defense, and he's retained the same attorney that Kyle Rittenhouse had. And I'm telling you guys right now, the defense is doing very good. So right now, I'm watching the trial, and I'm watching the prosecutors present their case, but it's looking like the defense's case because everyone that's been called up there, they've changed their story one way or another. They have said that this happened, but then later said that this happened. As a matter of fact, if you guys don't watch anybody else testify, I would watch this guy testify because it's just kind of like, what is going on? One guy gets up there and testifies and said last month, literally in March of 2024, okay, this incident happened in July of 2022. He said he went to the investigators in March of 2024 and said that he saw a man run out the bushes with a hat on, a jacket on, and pants, and was just going crazy doing this. Like, and y'all seen the video, he was not in a hat, a jacket, or any of that when he was in the water. Just listen to the story that this guy tells and listen to how he gets caught up in his story being wrong and how he just flip-flops. And mind you, this is a witness that the prosecution called in order to prosecute Nicolae, and you're watching it going, why did they call this person? Check this out.
Did you tell law enforcement that you had a video of the incident?
Yeah.
And did you try to transfer that to a law enforcement officer?
Yes.
Was there a problem with the transfer?
Yes.
What the video that you transferred, is it garbled in some sense?
It's the video. It's like, what's the word? It's like blurry because I sent it from my iPhone to the officer's Android phone.
All right. After that initial transfer of the video, did you have an issue with your phone?
Yes, it had water damage.
All right. Did you drop it in the river that day?
Yes.
In your statement in March of 2024, you say, I remember he had a hat on. He had on. Like, he looked like he wasn't supposed to be in the water. Like he just came out of, the bushes. He just came out. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So is it your testimony today, under oath, that the person involved in this incident had a hat on and came out of the bushes?
No.
You told the police.
I told them that, yes, but I don't, like you said, it could be foggy. I don't think that's what it was no more, though.
Okay, well, this is less than a month ago you had this conversation with them, right? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. And were you intentionally lying to the police?
No.
Okay. So where do you come up with the idea that he came out of the bushes?
Because that's why I saw him running to the bushes after the incident.
Okay. And tell me if this is fair. You tell the police he walks in the water. He had pants on and everything. He had a jacket on. Right?
Yeah, I don't recall that.
Well, the police say you said it. Do you deny saying it?
If that's what y'all got, I guess, yeah, I said it. I don't remember saying it, I should say.
You don't remember March of this year talking to the police?
Yeah, I remember talking to him. I don't remember saying he had a jacket and a coat on.
Okay.
I remember he had on a hat.
Okay.
And he had on shorts.
Okay.
I don't recall no jacket though.
All right, but you don't dispute that you told the police that?
No.
Why would you tell the police that?
Like you said, our memory is a little joggy over 2 years ago.
But you told them that you remembered it like it was yesterday. Right?
Yeah.
You also said to the police, he came out of the bushes and he was taking pictures of the girls.
Yes. I said that.
You saw that?
No, I said that.
I understand you said it. Did you see it?
Yes.
So you saw Mr. Mew with his camera that afternoon taking pictures of little girls. That's what you're telling this jury.
Oh, no. No, that's what I said.
No, like I said, I understand you said it. Is it true?
Oh, I don't know.
Why would you say it if you don't know if it's true?
It was a lot going on.
During the first day of the trial, the video of several screenshots were shown, and the prosecution really emphasized on how in the video you can hear that Nicolae was asked more than 20 times by the Schumann group and the Carlson groups to just walk away, just leave, just walk away. Before the situation even began, Nicolae appeared to be smirking while holding that thing in his hand by his side. The prosecution also pointed out that at no point did Nicolae tell anyone to get back, and he himself never stepped back or walked away from the groups. He also added that the situation didn't become physical until, again, Nicolae went after the girl Madison, that nobody can keep their story straight about what actually happened. However, the defense has repeatedly stood by the fact that they believe that Nicolae was acting in self-defense and he feared for his life. They say that Nicolae only brought that thing in his pocket to the river that day so they could use it to cut the twine needed to connect everyone's inner tubes. The defense also described the Schumann group as drunk teens who were smoking that stuff, and they all admitted it on the stand. And he said that Isaac, the boy that did pass away, his blood alcohol level at 17 years old was a .219, and mentioned that his friends later told the investigators that Isaac was probably the most sober one of them all. Okay, so you got a 17-year-old with a blood alcohol level of a .219, and his friends saying, hey, he was the one that was the most sober. So you got a group of really tore up youngins out there cutting up, causing a ruckus. And some way, somehow, things got way out of hand. And the defense is really trying to drill home the point that these people went out of their way to humiliate this man because of his appearance. And they also accused him of being something that he's not by calling him a pedo and all of that stuff. And mind you guys, there were no little ones on the beach. So these teenagers and people that were saying that he was looking for girls and that he was a raper and a pedo, there weren't even any little ones on the beach at all. It just kind of seemingly came out of nowhere. This situation again happened in 2022. The whole story surrounding these teens saying that they heard him say he was looking for little girls, that only came up 2 weeks before the trial. So that was like a news story that just showed up 2 weeks before the trial. The defense even claims that the only reason that Nicolae ran towards the Schumann group was because he thought he saw them holding up the phone that he was looking for. They say that once the altercation started, that Nicolae can obviously be seen like getting knocked into the water, and that when he tried to get up to get out of the water, he was aggressively jumped on again from the front, the back. He was smacked across the face while somebody came from behind and would be pushing him down. And so this is why the defense says that Nicolae was afraid for his life and acting in self-defense. Now, Nicolae has been in jail since this incident happened 2 years ago, and he's lost a lot of weight. He looks very thin, and it's interesting because typically people that are in jail gain weight, but he's lost a lot of weight. And from what I think, the whole town this whole time has thought that he was this crazed monster on the river going after youngins, okay? What they didn't realize, what these seniors were just kind of making that up. It's what it looks like. It looked like they were just trying to poke fun and make a video and maybe have a viral moment, and things got really, really out of hand. And one of their friends lost their life. Another thing I want to say before I wrap this first video up is the prosecution has been presenting their case of why Nicolae is guilty and why he should spend the rest of his life in prison for murder. However, when you look at the polls that are being taken online, there is a large portion of people that already believe he's not guilty, that this was self-defense. And the defense has not even started to defend him yet. I can tell you that I believe that if this situation would have happened in Florida, I don't think he would even be on trial right now, because we have what is called the stand your ground law. And the stand your ground law means that if somebody is coming at you, you do not have to retreat. You don't have to try to run away first. You can stand your ground and defend yourself. And I do believe that if he was in Florida, it would have fell under stand your ground. However, in Wisconsin, they have different laws. They have a law that you're supposed to warn the person first before you defend yourself. And so there's another gray area there. And so we don't know exactly what is going to happen. Have y'all heard about this case? What do you think? Do you think it was intentional? A lot of people are saying he should have walked away, shoulda, coulda. And a lot of people are saying that the teens in the other group shouldn't have put their hands on him. They should have walked away. I think everybody should have done something different. Everybody should have. But there's no turning back the hands of time now. So what's going to happen? I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. I am going to definitely be following this. If y'all haven't been watching the trial, if you have extra time, I suggest to watch it. It's very interesting. Let me know what you guys think down below. Other than that, I love y'all. Thank y'all for being here, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Love you guys. Bye.